am going to be doing some bodybuilding work. So if there are questions or whatever, figure I don't typically record these normal videos, so I would just do some while I'm out here. I mean, it's Friday night, so I got nothing better to do. But I just finished doing some snatching. I got up to 110. I missed 100, and then I went back and made it twice, and then 110, and then clean jerks. I did 1 plus 2s with 60, 100, or 110, 60, 110, and then 140. And really happy with how I'm feeling. I think the sleep has just been tremendous, tremendous help in just feeling good each day. Like I don't even feel entirely recovered. I didn't have as much energy as I did yesterday, but like I still had the aggression that you kind of need with lifting. And it's exciting because like I feel like now I can really focus on making those mechanical changes in what I'm doing, particularly with the snatch. Same thing that I talked about kind of in the last video. Really trying to load my upper back, but also what I was kind of realizing today was trying to keep my arms long and loose, which is, you know, conceptually something that isn't something that's radical. People talk about that. Well, what was exciting to me about that is that when I did that first 100 that I missed, and then I came back and was like, all right, let's really focus on loading the scaps, but keeping the arms long and relaxed, essentially. And then the second 100 felt good. I was like, I'm gonna do it again. Felt really good. And then the same kind of thing with the clean jerks, with the cleans particularly, doing that same kind of thing, trying to keep the arms relaxed, not really trying to almost not think about them, but really focus on loading the scaps up. So that initial push off the ground with the legs, I'm trying to get my upper back to be as loaded as possible, which conceptually has been feeling really good. So I'm trying to reinforce that. But my main bodybuilding work has just been band work. I got this band. Well, they don't pull stuff down. I got this main band. It's just I don't know, it's pretty high resistance. I don't know what the actual pounds are or anything like that, but I just got like a high resistance one because you can kind of scale it pretty easily, because obviously I can use it with 2. I can loop it and use it with 1, but I'm just going to be doing some shoulder work since I do want to go potentially as heavy as I did today, tomorrow, but I also want to just get huge. But do appreciate if you are stopping by in the chat. I'm going to try to open up, so if you do throw something in the chat, hopefully I do see it. So I got it, my camera facing forward, so I can make sure I'm lined up in it. But one of the main things I like to do, shoulders, is just face pulls, but different levels and kind of reverse flies and at different levels. So up high, at parallel, and then low, face pulls. It's hard to do the externals with this band because the resistance is pretty hard. So usually when I'm at this spot, I'm really focusing on my scaps, trying to pinch them, trying to reinforce the same kind of kinesthetic feeling that I'm trying to get on the snatches, where I'm like really loading my scaps, trying to reinforce that, and trying to focus as little on my upper traps as possible, because those get pumped so quickly and so easily. And I'll do some holds and stuff versus the grip. It's really pretty simple stuff. You're just trying to do enough to get some blood in that area, to get a little bit of a pump, and really just kind of move around. But you know, I do see one person here, so I do appreciate you stopping by, even if it is just for a moment, for my random live stream, because it is Friday and I ain't got much to do. But what's nice is with the band work is obviously you can scale it with the resistance. Like I can step back and make it more difficult. But I've done this probably 4 times this week, 3 or 4 times. And it's something when I played baseball, I would do so much band work, which is probably why I never had an elbow or shoulder injury of any sort when I played. Just soreness, but I've never had any sort of limitations with my joints for baseball. For weightlifting, a little bit different. Obviously, I've had the shoulder injury back in May at this point that, I mean, honestly may never recover because I never stopped lifting, but it has obviously got significantly better and it's essentially recovered. But the only really thing I can do now to continue the recovery with it is just more bodybuilding work. So, see 2 people in here. I'm a live streaming famous person. So with the way I can scale these, so the resistance like I showed with these is too much. I'm too weak, or maybe the bands are too strong. I guess you can scale that, but you just loop it in there, and then you can kind of grab the band wherever, because like here, I would be kind of stuck. Actually, it's a pretty good resistance right here. So the externals, this was a crazy thing when I played baseball for a year in college. So I can tell that most people just don't like working hard. A lot of people would cut out their workouts, like you'd get assigned a workout and then you would just quit. Hi Clayton, thanks for stopping by. My parents would agree with that sentiment. Parents and most of my family actually, but you'd have a lot of these baseball players, so we'd be like, all right, you got to do this band cycle before we throw. And people would just do their arm that they throw with and then just stop, as if there wasn't like two parts of your body. And it's kind of shocking because, I mean, logically, if you're using your right arm like I am now, your left side of your body is doing stuff. It's not just limp, because if it was limp, it would just be there. Even if it's doing 1% of anything, it's doing something. And why wouldn't you want to be symmetrical? Because that's, I think, honestly, where most injuries happen is when there's a lack of symmetry in a muscle joint or a muscle area. But you would see these guys do their band work, just their right arm or left arm, whichever arm they threw with, and then just stop. Like, it just blew my mind, because it was just like, I didn't think it was that, like, band work's not that difficult or anything. And just the idea of doing one side, I mean, it'd just be like, here, I'm just gonna do my right arm and just stop. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But you'd see guys do that all the time. And I was not the best pitcher or the best player, but I will say I was probably the best worker out here on the team. Probably trained harder than just about any single person, which always makes me kind of regret that I didn't grow up in Russia, in the Soviet system, and didn't simply grow up doing only training, because I'm really good at enduring difficult stuff as far as training goes. And I think just the way that I, at this point in my life, have put on a good amount of muscle with, I don't want to say without effort, but like, I've never particularly struggled with adding muscle, or like when I started weightlifting, I was like, I got to get that stronger upper body, and I did. Like, everything I've done has worked as far as training in the long term. And I don't think I'm necessarily gifted. I'm just good at being consistent and eating enough. But that was hard for years. So I'd always hit certain plateaus with body weight. For college, it was like 200. Then once I stopped baseball, it was just powerlifting, I got to 200, and then like 210. I don't know what I got when I finished college, but I know when I started teaching. Oh wow, we got 16 people. I appreciate you guys all stopping in. Just here ranting about Raven. But when I started teaching, so this was back in 2016, I cut down for an online powerlifting meet. And so I was sitting probably 195, because I was already kind of generally cutting, and I didn't want to cut too much. So what I did was cut down to 180. I think it was like a 82 kilo class. I forget what, it was for USPA powerlifting. So I used a deadlift bar at the meet. But I cut down, I weighed 179, I believe, at the meet. You could look back at my channel. It's one of my earliest videos of my first powerlifting meet. But once I did that powerlifting meet, I did that powerlifting meet when I was still in college, but I cut down, I think, to that same body weight for an online meet when I started teaching. And so the first day I was a teacher, I was 185 pounds, but I gained like 10 pounds pretty rapidly when I started, because it was mostly just from the cut. It's making them at night. Tyler, I know where that's from. That's pretty toxic. What was I saying? So I got up, I was 185 when I finished that meet or whatever, because I gained like 5 pounds basically after cutting. And then when I started teaching, I was 185, and through my first 4 years when I was in special education, I went up to 230, because I don't think I was really like above 230 till about 4 years ago. Because getting to like 210, 215 was pretty easy. Getting above 220 was difficult. And like every 5 pounds was like really difficult. And really, like even now, it's like hard to stay. Like the other day, I weighed 240, and then this morning I was 236, and I did literally nothing different other than just sleep. Thanks, Tyler. Yeah, I know a little bit about the internet culture, but Shane Gillis is pretty funny. I think I'm pretty sure that's where that's from. But Shane Gillis, even if it's not, Shane Gillis is pretty funny. Been watching a lot of their, his, and I don't know who the other guy is, but the presidential thing where he's Donald Trump and the other comedian's Joe Biden. That is, I really just need to sit down and watch the full thing. I just keep seeing clips and shorts of it. I need to sit down and watch the whole thing because it is pretty funny. Although the host, I don't know anything about the show, but the host that's on it, the guy that laughs at everything, I kind of find his laughing kind of distracting and annoying. So maybe the clips are better for that. Oh, shoulders are getting a nice little pump. But, yeah, 17 people? You guys are as boring as me, watching me do some band work on a Saturday night. Oh, Kill Tony. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Tony, whoever the guy is that hosted, I kind of find his, oop, my flip-flop came off. I kind of find his laugh, like, fake. I don't even know if it necessarily is, like, maybe he just laughs at everything, but I feel like he's forcing it, and so it's not good. This is something I've also been doing a lot this week, band work with the biceps. I don't really care if my biceps grow, but it's nice to do if you do triceps, which, it's all helps support the elbows and the shoulders and whatnot, so obviously it's just good to do. This has really been my main accessory this week. I guess you can consider the squats and the pulls I did as accessory work as well, and I did them in pretty high volume. Was it 5x2? The day I did block work, and then 5x5 back squat earlier in the week, so, obviously nothing to scoff at as far as the squat volume, but yeah, they killed Tony. Maybe this is the way to do live. You just go vertical. Oh, I don't typically do live for my workouts because I listen to music. Oh. And obviously I can't have a live video going when I'm listening to music. The other problem that I have typically is if I'm out here in my shed or whatever, internet's not available, and so I have to plug in my phone. But if you obviously leave like a video playing for a while, like a live stream or whatever, it's pretty intensive on the phone. And when it's like warm, it's pretty hot out still. It's like 7:30 at night, so it's cooled down a bit. But when it's super hot out, your phone obviously gets too hot, and then there's issues with that. So I don't want to necessarily strain my phone. I think in the perfect world, I'd run an Ethernet cord out to my shed and then have like internet access and be able to do that. Then train in the winter, just use my the heat from the laptop or whatever I'm streaming on to heat the shed. But no, it's not something that's really feasible. Nor I've done it before for a session, even for a heavy one, and I just felt like I was trying to work out too fast, and I didn't feel like wasn't resting enough. And I remember lifting pretty well on that day, but certainly it's not something, because now I can have it face forward like this so I can see if there's a new comment or something. But I certainly don't prefer that for sure. So, I mean, I record all my lifts anyway, so I'm used to having the camera on, but having the live thing, sometimes the internet cuts out because I am on data right now. I get a little bit of Wi-Fi out here, but not enough to live stream. We'll do a couple chest flies as well. This is a really good shoulder stretch as well. Really nice for my achy left shoulder. Oh. And it's interesting because like the same kind of thing, I'm trying to focus on squeezing my lats, even though the bands are pulling them into there, and then just coming out. I'm not really worried about my chest necessarily getting any work. I'm just worried about a full stretch and full out. Oh. And really, you can do this kind of thing every single day if you train. It's not going to wear yourself out or fatigue. Like I did the same exact thing yesterday, and I still lifted perfectly fine today. Man, 20 people. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. Got my Phys Ed shirt on. You know what's cool that only a true weightlifter know about are the ASICs that I got over here, which I'll talk about these for a second, and I'm on a rambling rave. So this bottom of the shoe has been obnoxious. It keeps coming off. I need to just send it to a cobbler, talk to a cobbler, and have them take care of it. But I've had to re-glue this bottom part on several times. I think it's good now, but it's just not perfect, which is fine because these are normally like $1,000. These shoes, if you get them in really good condition, I got them for about $300, which is rare in any condition. But also to have them in my size, which is even more rare because I wear 11 and a halves, and I never see 11 and a halves anywhere, even if they are like the $1,000 pair. So if you look on Hook Grip for like the ASICs, you'll see what I talk about, but I'm not making that up. These are obviously, these ones, because of the condition, are not worth that full amount. But if I probably paid someone to fully restore them, they kind of would be worth that. I would never try to charge someone $1,000 for them because of if they were refurbished at all. But if I really went through and like got them done really nicely and had the bottoms fixed up and stuff, honestly probably would charge $700-800 for them. But I don't want to sell them ever. Like I just like having them. I haven't worn them in a couple weeks either. It's just it's the kind of dumb stuff I spend money on. I'm trying to think. So I've done a little bit of biceps. I guess I can do a little bit more. Oh. Not really anything particular to think about when you're doing biceps. Just trying to get a bit of a pump. Do a reverse, but the big thing is the rear delts at different levels. When they're higher, I feel it more in my traps, which I don't really like, but it's nice to kind of, throw that in. I like it more in the middle and even low. When it's low, I feel like I'm really getting like my lower parts of my scap to work, which I feel like is the part that I want to work more. It's very, very subjective how I'm doing it. That is for sure. But I feel like when it's down here, it's kind of working more of the meat of my shoulder, and then obviously the bottom of the lat, which I kind of do like, but and some in the middle. Also like turning my hands, mostly having them just parallel to the ground. Feels a little bit different. That, and you can also kind of do more of a pull, more like a face pull type movement. And the upper face pulls, those are good too. But honestly, I've done more than I was even planning on. I was pleasantly surprised to see even 26 people in here. So I don't know if that's just a result of just it being on shorts and stuff. But that's really cool. So I might try to do this again at some point. But I think I'm going to end this one here. So if you did stop by and commented, thank you, Clayton and Tyler, for stopping by and commenting. Do appreciate that. And I don't know, check out my other videos. But I'll have the workout that I did before, not the band work, because that's not really a fun video to watch, but the actual session I did tomorrow. Tomorrow. I should have that up. But yeah, all right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a good night. Happy Friday.